Hello and welcome. Susday Chimipsua. That's how we say hello in Cambodia. Chalet in the house. Wow, you must have been right on it. Good morning, Glory. Oh, there's a mosquito. Yeah, well, I'm looking forward to tonight. I will give you the house tour with the detailed version. We'll play the video and we'll pause and I'll point out things and stuff. I tried to kind of go around giving the house tour, kind of pausing a little bit so that it, because sometimes you're moving too quick, then it's like blurry when you try to stop, right? So hopefully it works out okay. But yeah, I've been promising you guys the house tour. So yeah, let's do it. Okay, so I will share my channel. This one, part 1 downstairs. Here we go. You guys see? Okay, yeah, there it is. And I wonder what happens if I go full screen. Oh yeah, look at that. Isn't that nice? Okay. That's better than having all that other stuff on the side. All the recommendations. Okay. So let's get started and I'll hit play. Stairs and I'll show you everything. And then I will do a live show. Okay, so I know people get really interested in the ceilings, so that's why I did that brief shot up with the ceiling. Let me see if I can come back here to it. Show you everything. And there you go. And this is like really just normal. Like even poor houses. I mean, if they're house like brick shop houses that look poor on the outside, the inside will still have this. Molding, crown molding, I think we call it. Mama Christine is going to have to come back. Yes, I know. Let's hope she's awake. I guess she had earthquakes yesterday. I saw in the news. So I sent her a quick Skype message, but it wasn't that. It was like 4 point something, and which is nothing. And until it gets to like 7 or 8, then you're talking about damage. But the center was like real close to where she lives. So I'm sure, and there were 4 earthquakes. So I'm sure she felt it. But yeah, that's cool. I know you're not talking about cool earthquakes. You're talking about cool crown molding. So let's keep going. Then I will do a live show where we can actually go through and pause things. Okay, so here's my, it's not an actual Lazy Boy. It's an off-brand, but it is a recliner. And as you can see, I have cloth over it as a covering to try and protect it from the cats, because of course we know there are 8 cats living in the house. One that's an outdoor cat that comes in for food for its breakfast and dinner. They still kind of scratch on it. But that's all right. I don't mind. So it does. I don't know if I should have taken off the cloth so that it looked prettier. Then you probably would have just seen all the cat scratching. But this was like such a big deal. My mom got it for me for my birthday one year. Because I said, Mom, there's on Facebook, I've been getting these ads popping up that there's a furniture store that actually has Lazy Boys. And I want a Lazy Boy. And she goes, well, go find out how much they are. And the Lazy Boy brand was like $700 for a single. And then this off brand was like, I don't know, $300 for a single, but it was only like $450, $500 for the double. So I was really blessed that my mom got me the Lazy Boy for Christmas. So that's something that not everybody has here in Cambodia. And this is my lovely recliner. Very nice. It's a love seat recliner. In fact, this whole living room area is really quite nice. And over here. Okay, so really quick, this on the wall here, my daughter, cats. Without them, we wouldn't need blankets. Yeah, for sure. So this picture on the wall here, it's actually double-sided. There's glass on both sides, and you can see both sides. And it's like a magazine page that my daughter was featured in, and so she sent it to me for Christmas one year. Um, and so there it is on my wall. I was wondering how you got half of that stuff there. Um, oh, I should have had it ready. I have a picture of me standing in front of for four pallets, uh, on their way to be shipped to Cambodia in a shipping container. I had to wrap the pallets. It was like their liability thing, that they could not wrap the pallets. I had to wrap the pallets, but they gave me the plastic to like wrap them. And so I stacked everything on the pallets. I wrapped them. Everything made it here just fine. It was a couple $1,000s, which would have been about 2011, maybe 2011. I moved here in 2007, and I think it was 4 years after I moved here. Okay, so let's keep going. This chest, I think I have to go here. This chest right here was like a graduating high school hope chest thing that I got. I still have it. All right. Different things. I'll just kind of show each. Okay, there we go. That's a little bit clearer. So in this shelf of collection, boy, I made this back in high school. It's dried flowers and herbs that are like layered. This is a milk cup. Like, I mean, I don't know, you save your milk cartons or your cereal box tabs or something, send them off, and I got that mug with a cow on it with my name on it. Because back in the day for Gen Xers, we would save coupon type things and then send them in and get something free, get a free gift. So that's that. This is a rabbit fur that I shot and killed and skinned and ate, but I didn't eat the skin. I ate the meat of the rabbit. Well, I tried to. Actually, I couldn't eat it very well because it was so tough. I didn't realize that fresh killed rabbit meat is like so tough. I couldn't chew it. I was so disappointed. I think I was in tears because I spent I was so proud of myself. Anyway, yeah, everything's sentimental here. So anyway, that's my rabbit skin that I tanned myself. A Princess Diana plate. What is it? The Bradford Exchange. Here's a Navajo sand painting thing. These little doll thing, what Precious Moments, I believe, was like a wedding gift. And this angel, I think my grandmother gave me. This angel, I think my friend Rick Passo gave me. Maybe he gave me something like that. No. Okay, so we need you in our Hunger Games. Yeah. Yeah. Shelf, and then I said I can pause. So here's my shot glass collection, which, okay, so I've got beer Pilsner like size ones as well. There's a Coke glass one, and then like tons of shot glasses. So eventually I would love to get like a display cabinet that each one can like fit on. Not there yet, but so they're just crammed in here on this shelf. Your cousin owned a Hallmark store for a while, so you know about Precious Moments. Exactly. Very collectible. I don't know if that particular one's worth anything or not, but it's like, it's just sentimental. even though, I'm divorced and all that, still, it was a gift. I think my Aunt Susie, my mother's sister, is the one that gave it to me, I think. Use the bride and groom on your wedding cake topper. Yeah, exactly. But I think the one I have there is a little bit too big to put on a wedding, unless it's a big wedding cake. All right, so next shelf. All right, yeah, we can see there. So here's my A&W root beer, baby root beer cups. I have 4 of them. These glasses are from when I worked at Red Lion Hotel. These rabbit things are from my mom. They're like Easter things. Um, these two, this like sugar and creamer set with violets on it says mother. I'm not sure if I got those for Mother's Day or if I gave that or I wish my mom needs to be here. They they might have been my grandmother had this hutch that everybody would give her, like teacups and stuff like that. And then when she died, we kind of like all got our teacups back that we had gifted her. Um, so I can't remember if that was like if these were an original gift to me or if they were a gift, back to me from my grandmother. Wake up, Christine. Exactly. And then we have a little bit of my Marilyn Monroe collection in here. There's like baseball cards of like all Marilyn Monroe cards. And this is a calendar. And I think here's like a teacup. In the back here is a saucer, but I'm not sure where the teacup is. Should be, I guess I just can't see it. And then this on the stem, on a purple stem, was from Disneyland. And it has my initials engraved on it, from like the New Orleans area. Okay. I'll keep moving.
To show,
Oh, yeah. Okay.
talk about things that are.
The teacups there. I moved this a little bit to get in the glass.
Ooh, that's better.
So here are some of my Roadrunner and peacock things. I know the head's cut off here of this big peacock. My grandmother gave me this. I think she found it at a yard sale or something. And I don't know, somehow I picked up this little Roadrunner. And then I remember going to Oatman, Arizona. That's where there was a girl in a wagon train. Her and her brother, and I think her little sister, were the only survivors, and they massacred everybody. And she became part of the tribe, and they tattooed her face and everything. But she was found there, and the town of Oatman is like in that place, in that area, anywhere. And then that's a real bird's nest I found somewhere, and like this egg is like a rock that's a polished rock. And then I think this plastic peacock was my grandmother's, and I think this peacock here, I think my grandmother, I think, gave it to me. So let's see, maybe you see more of it. So another Bradford Exchange plate of peacocks, a Roadrunner on a big shot glass. It's really more like a highball glass size, And this is a little white peacock thing that I don't know, I picked up along the way somewhere. And then this, when I back out, you might be able to see these are sandstone coasters with Roadrunners on them. Cool. Yeah, you can see the Roadrunner there. Okay. And so these frogs, there's a green one and a purple one on this side. It's cut off. Are total 70s things from when I was high school age. Had them in the house. These are obviously wooden shoes from. I bought these not in Amsterdam, but in the Netherlands when I went to visit the tulip place with my mom. My mom came from the U.S. and I flew from Cambodia, and we flew to Schiphol Airport in Amsterdam. And then we went around and saw Meppel. We took a train to Meppel, which is where our ancestors were from. And then there were some of our ancestors. It was kind of a heritage tour. Because then we went to London and we went to Ireland, we went to Scotland. We went all over to see all the different places that our ancestors came from. Anyway, and then of course the Marilyn Barbie doll and some pictures here that are like film industry related. I guess I can tell you this one on the top. You can't see him, but this man right here is Sal Pacino, Al Pacino's father. That's Michael Collins right there. He was at the dinner. My mom, myself, my friend June, and Catherine Coven Pacino, Sal Pacino's wife. This is David Bradley. I think we talked about him once before in one of our we were going off on things. And I don't know who's down there. I can't see it. All right. So moving on.
We've got the fish tank,
Fish tank,
some photo albums, another cabinet here.
Okay, so
Place for the chmas, the cats.
all right. So the Saint stands, they are from Modesto, California, where George Lucas was from, and he made the film American Graffiti about growing up in Modesto. And there's this one road, the main road through Modesto, that everyone would just like parade their cars. The young kid, I mean, it wasn't a parade, but it was like a parade because everybody would be just cruising. So this was cruising. And so they still have like cruise night, graffiti night, whatever. And so Saint Stan's was like a microbrewery, whatever. And they, every year they would have a special edition label of their beer. And so there you go. That's my Saint Stan's beer collection. Oh, did you see? Wait, let's see if I can see
the cats.
Okay. Big Texan Steak Ranch in Amarillo. Okay, I'll have to. Okay. Big Texan Amarillo. And then I'll switch screens. So this is a famous landmark when you're driving cross country. Oh yeah, come back here. So I'm going to stop sharing that screen. Share screen. Oops, wrong one. This one. Share. This place here. The Big Texan. And they have, you can see, let me make sure you're seeing it. Yeah. Okay. So you see this big 72-ounce steak thing. They say like if you can eat it within 1 hour, you get it for free. But most people, they can't eat. It's just too much beef to eat, so you don't have to worry about it. But so back to the house tour. Share screen, house tour, share screen. So that this garter is a little souvenir I got from there. Okay, yeah, keep going. SUU is my university that I graduated from. I picked up some cocktail napkins in the gift shop, and there you go. Then over here, the Bladnoch whiskey is from Scotland. It's one of the only distilleries in the lowlands of Scotland, because most of the distilleries for Scottish whiskey are in the Highlands. And but this is really close to my ancestral home in Dumfries, Galloway are two like counties that are like really close to each other. So they're usually called Dumfries, Galloway together, but I think this would be in Dumfries. I think that's where Sorby Castle is, which is what we're going to see next. Ta-da! So that is my ancestral home. And next to it is our tartan. That's Clan Hannah, and our crest. Is that a crest? Something like that, whatever that one's called. Yeah, so that's my Scottish ancestry. Keep going. Okay, so what do we have down here? All sorts of different things from different places. A rooster from Portugal. Let's see. I think if my mouse is here, you're not seeing it. Okay, tell me. I'm circling the rooster right now with my mouse. So if my mouse is right here like this, did you see me circling the rooster? Because I wasn't on the StreamYard screen. I was on like the actual screen with the video. Did you see my mouse going around, circling around the rooster? Let me know. While I'm waiting for you to answer, I'll say the rooster, the white one and the black one, they're from Portugal. I haven't been to Portugal. I would love to go to Portugal, but I had people bring them back for me. Luck of the Irish. You see the UK. I did go to London. So you've got the bus and the telephone and the postal thing. North Carolina, my dad was from there, and my mother, my grandmother on my dad's side loved cardinals. So I have that little tiny plate thing. That stuffed bear is in traditional Cambodian clothes. It's actually from Starbucks here in Cambodia. I got it for free. This little heart in the front. Well, there's plastic thing as a heart in the front, and inside that is some wool that I picked up from the ground when I stopped on the side of the road in Wales where there were sheep. So I picked up some sheep's wool from Wales, and that's what's in that little plastic heart. And then I've got some little music boxes. I got Oh Danny Boy and that French one, like la da di da di da da di da di da da di da di da da La Vie en Rose or something like that. Yeah. Okay. And then we'll move to the other side. I was trying to show you the wool that's inside that plastic thing. So here we've got the blue porcelain windmill also from Holland or the Netherlands, a little mouse thing, some porcelain, like wooden shoes, but porcelain, an Eskimo doll. I don't know, Eskimo might not be, Inuit or whatever. I grew up with them being called Eskimos. Oh, that's clearer right there. You can see a little better. Oh, Renoir, the Renoir bookmark that I got from France when I was there. Some voodoo dolls that my mom got for me in New Orleans, and an Alaska sled dog thing. And then wrapped in the plastic is a candle. I think we talked about this once before, because I think we were talking about Spencer's and stuff. But this is from Ireland, from the Giant's Causeway. And so it's a candle in the shape of the Giant's Causeway. The horse in the front is leather that's made like from the puppet things that here in Cambodia. And the little turtle behind the horse, but in front of the windmill, is from Mexico. And then, and the wooden shoe. So right behind the windmill, that big, like cream colored shape is a wooden shoe made of wood from Holland. Okay, so we'll keep going. Oh, and a little handkerchief from Ireland, because Ireland's famous for its here, I'll go back just a hair. Whoops. Well, right there, you can see the handkerchief behind the bear. You can also kind of see that the wooden shoe is there as well. So there we've got more Roadrunner, but this one, the animated Warner Brothers Roadrunner. So there's a a child's Halloween costume, bookmark, some toys, some stamps, and then, and a stuffed animal. And then we're going to move on to the Harp Seal collection. Oh, there's a little bit of Odie in there as well. So you've got the postcards, and then you've got a stamp, and then you've got a little, the the big seal is just a stuffed animal, but the other little seal that's behind the stamp is actually made of the skin. I don't know if it's like horse skin just used or if it's actual seal skin. I don't know. Probably not seal skin. I don't know, but it's real animal skin. And then my coffee mug of a harp seal. Keep going. So down here is more childhood stuff. The Chihuahua picture is because my grandparents had a little dog named Dino, and Dino was a Chihuahua, well, mixed terrier Chihuahua, and I had given that to my grandparents because I saw it somewhere, so I picked it up as a gift, and then when they died, I got it back. The plastic dog, you kind of squeeze it. If you squeeze it, it'll like make a sound. That might have been my mom's, but I do think that that really worn stuffed animal with like the buttons for the eyes are missing and stuff, I think that was my mom's. And then my son's Peter Pan hat from Disneyland, says Danny on it, some Coca-Cola bottles, that Asian looking thing that looks the size of a card. That was my VIP badge when I was working at the Bangkok International Film Festival. Well, and some child stuff. Yeah, blah. You can see. I love the Go Dog Go book. That's my favorite book. That's why I put it in there.
Alrighty.
Let's see. So if you look over here, let's see. Wow. Okay. No new comments. If you look over here, I do think I zoom in a little bit. This piece of furniture came with the house. Obviously, I'm renting, so I don't get to keep it forever, but I get to use it. I've got like videotapes and stuff in the cupboards and some pictures, like packets of pictures that haven't been sorted through. Oh, behind the fan, you can see a big rock. That's a big piece of granite, and it's from California. And that's all I'm going to say about it. It's a big chunk of granite from California. So it's a piece of California that I have here. And then you see that I think I move up a little bit closer. You can see my record player from the 70s, a Sears record player.
On this side, there's the TV.
So at the top, there's a clock, a picture that has a little clock on it, and that's the Redwoods. And that was also my grandparents. Well, I don't know if I gave it to them, but I loved the Redwoods so much. And so when they died, I said, I want the clock, because it would have just gone in the trash. Nobody else wanted it. And the other smaller picture that looks like a map is a map of the Ponderosa that I got visiting the Ponderosa from, oh my gosh. I'm thinking Big Valley. It's not Big Valley. What was the TV show called? Bonanza. And so my ex-husband and I, we took the kids up to the Ponderosa, and where they filmed parts of Bonanza and everything. And then they also, so we bought that as a souvenir when we were there. Then later, we were living in Modesto at the time, and in the foothills outside of Modesto, they were shooting like, not a remake, but I don't know, like a made-for-TV movie, using all the characters, but they were like the kid, like, so Michael Landon's son played Michael Landon's part and stuff, and Linda Gray was in it, and all these people were there. So I took that up there to where they were filming the movie, and it was kind of a closed set, but I just took the kids and walked in anyway. And because we didn't make a big stink or anything, we just blended in. And we chit-chatted with the stuntmen, and the stuntmen were showing my kids some tricks and stuff and everything. And so then, when one of the stars would walk by or whatever, we'd get them to sign our map. And so it's got a lot of signatures on it from that. And those are the tin cups that you buy as souvenirs when you visit the Ponderosa. So there's the explanation on that. And that little square picture is an original painting by a French lady that was in Cambodia. So there you go. Now you have the explanation.
Autograph poster from Bonanza, the Ponderosa.
All right.
This is the dining.
Oh, let me come back here. So here on the wall, on that column, you can see 2 more sand paintings. I believe that my great aunt Dorothy gifted those to me because she lived in New Mexico. You were just about to write that it was Bonanza. Yeah, it took me a minute, but I came up with it. Yeah. But thank you very much for trying to help me out. Yeah, so those are sand paintings from my great aunt. Okay. And
this is the dining room and kitchen area.
Yeah. There you go. Now look at that kitchen. Whoa, I'm going to go and open some of the cupboards and some of the drawers and stuff in a minute. But this is very unusual. Okay, I was here for 16 years living in Cambodia before I got a kitchen like this. They are not, no. Oh, it's so amazing. I love it. Okay.
Oops, just tripped on a cat.
Right now I just have this patio furniture that my friend Cecile gave me to use, and eventually I of course I want to get a real dining room table or make one, and so I'm really happy just to wait. I don't need to rush. This was most everything here I already had over the years. So well, obviously I was just showing you all those things, but I mean furniture wise, this bookcase I already had. The smaller light colored bookcase actually I just bought because when this entire room, my kitchen and this room, all the way to the stairs, flooded in about an inch of water from the sink getting knocked on. It had a handle that was just whatever, like it's easy for disabled people. You just kind of, all you need to do is, but the cats knocked it on and while I was sleeping. So I woke up and I came downstairs and everything was flooded. So I wanted to make sure that books that had been in cardboard on the floor got up off the floor. So I did buy that little bookcase to go there because it's the same height as those openings in that little wall. Yeah. Okay. So, there you can see. Oh, that's baby Wilbur there.
That's baby Wilbur.
Mm-hmm. And then this wooden thing on the side is from here in Cambodia. Oh, you see the mask collection on the wall. And my peacock wind chime. Now, this, there you go. That's nice and clear. That's the stool. The stool that we were talking about when my mom was on, and that was my grandfather's stool, and we were arguing about where it came from. I've been busy. Yeah. Well, I got the keys to the house in April, so, but yeah, it takes a while to unpack. And then, yeah, I've got teas and coffees and things there. And obviously you see some Jello mixes. My guitar's coming up there on the side. Oops, I'm pushing the arrow in StreamYard.
Ah,
Okay, here we go.
the stool that was my grandfather's.
So this is, you can see the Newman Fall Festival Diamond Walnut Bake Off. I won there were some different baking categories it's like a county fair kind of thing, but Newman is the city. So it's like a city fall festival, but kind of a county fair type of thing. So I had baking contests and I made these like little croissants made with blueberry filling, blueberry and cream cheese filling inside. So not only did I win my category, but I won best of show of all the baking. So I was like, so I got 2 awards. I was just shocked. I thought I'd get first or second. When I didn't get first or second, I thought, okay, whatever. And then they called my name. I'm sorry, second or third. And they didn't call my name for second or third. So okay, well, I didn't get anything. And then I ended up with first place. And then not only first place, but best of show. So they're up there on the wall. And this interesting thing is an antique from Cambodia. They would somehow, I don't know exactly how it's used, but it's used for rolling tobacco leaves somehow. It's something to do with tobacco. So I thought that was kind of interesting. And there's my guitar that Michael was asking about. Let's see, you've been busy. Okay, no new comments. That's my guitar. More cat stuff, catification. They don't ever.
It's very rare to have screens on Windows. It just has a screen, so I keep it open. And
so now we can look here. So we've got, well, all 3 top section there, top cubby holes are Patricia Cornwell books because she's my favorite author. Go away. Why? There we go. Sorry.
Not giving a lot of.
Let me go back. Okay. So, and then Sue Grafton also. And then I've had this little doll for a while. As an adult, I didn't have it as a teenager. I don't know where I got it. I don't remember. But it's supposed to have a little bonnet. It's kind of like a little prairie doll. And then this other little cubby hole, my mom and I, when that trip that I told you about, I took the best pictures. Costco has a thing where you can have you do all the layout and then they'll print it into a book. So I did all the layout and then we printed 2 copies. So my mom and I each have one. And so this is kind of like my mom thing. This was a gift from my mom. And in this box is like a little silver or pewter bowl that we got custom engraved in Scotland. And there's my Bambi collection. The glass mug is again from Disneyland where they do the engraving. So it's got the engraving of Bambi and then it's either my name or my daughter's name. And a couple of little cat things I stuck in there too because there wasn't any place else to put them. But that's my Bambi collection. It's here. So I've also, as I've traveled across the US and places, I would pick up these little mini decks of cards. Also, I guess some of them are normal size cards and some of them are mini size and there's some round cards. So as souvenirs, because I got really handy into getting souvenirs that don't weigh you down too much. And so cards were one. So shot glasses, cards. If you ever, this is interesting kind of thing. I hope my mom still has them. I would get metal keychains from all the different places. And then I tied them on strings to make a wind chime and gave them to my mom as a wind chime. So mom, you watch this later, then please, whenever the time comes, I like those. And the praying hands were maybe from my dad or my stepmom. I'm thinking that might have been they might have been a graduation present from someone on my dad's side of the family. I'm pretty sure. And then that little cross thing, my cousin Pat made that. And then I still have this little decoration here that was like part of my kitchen when it was like a country style kitchen. And then that's a pewter mug that I used to go to the Renaissance Fair in Northern California, and my name is engraved on that. Yep. Let's see if there's any comments. Functional art. Yes. Okay, so let's see what else we got.
Not giving.
Okay, so in here are little personal things. That picture in the middle was a independent film that I did. These are like supposed to be kind of like ghostly. This would be for zombie movies and stuff. Otherwise they would have wanted to be like zombies, but they were just supposed to be like evil. So they had this like ghoulish makeup that I had to do on them. And then a picture of my son on the side is a picture of my son when he graduated from boot camp in the Marines. And then there's a laminated newspaper article about me that was in the Modesto Bee. And then the little folder with the flap hanging down is like, I think some black and white pictures that I had taken. And then, and then like a little photo album of my travels.
Giving a lot of commentary right now because.
And then this metal car is a Roadrunner. It's an early Roadrunner. Because not only do I like Roadrunners, as you saw earlier, the animal, but the animal and the cartoon, but I also like the car. And I think it's like the best muscle car ever made. And so this is a real metal model. It's really nice. I had a plastic model, but the cats knocked it down. It shattered into pieces. I have all the pieces, but I don't think they're ever going to get put back together again. And that's a picture of me as a trophy queen at the Altamont Raceway. I was like around 30.
We'll
there you go. See it a little better.
Talk about things like I said, in a live video.
And so, go away. There we go. Oh, some Vicks Vapor Rub. That was my grandmother's teapot. That's a California license plate from one of my cars. I don't know which one. This little picture frame, I need to find a picture of me with all three of the kids to put in that bottom one. So there's my 3 kids. And then I need a picture of all of us together in the bottom. And I haven't figured out what picture to put there yet. But I'm going to move that in just a second and show you what's behind it. Does anybody remember this? Did you have one of these? Did your mom or your grandma have one of these? So my grandmother had this tin for saltine crackers. And then, of course, when they started coming in boxes, then she would just buy the box and take the packages out and put them in her tin. So she literally used it. I grew up getting saltine crackers out of this tin. And now I have it. After me, I don't know what's going to happen. You just got some of that stuff. Oh, the Vicks Vapor Rub. Yeah, grease yourself up. Now, see, in here, they have this stuff called Tiger Balm, which is made here in Asia. And same kind of thing, same kind of menthol, but there's just something about Vicks Vapor Rub, It's almost like comfort food, a comfort product, I guess, so let's see what else. Oh, we got three eyeballs. Welcome. So what else do we have? All my yearbooks. So here you've got all my yearbooks, junior high through high school, and some other favorite books. And then this is more like books. I mean, like magazines that I was the editor or writer on. Those little ones, you can tell which ones are like diaries and journals. just, there's poetry that I've written, there's screenplays that I've written, there's just, it's like my portfolio shelf. And that's in the very bottom there is just a Cambodian antique. I don't know what it's for. This is the piece of wood that was on my grandmother's fireplace, not the mantle, but like the hearth of the fireplace. This piece of wood was there, and we would sit on it to sit next to the fire. Everybody, like, this was like the primo spot, was to sit on this stool. And that picture of Clint Eastwood is autographed. My daughter, I homeschooled my daughter for like kindergarten, first grade, maybe second grade. And one of her assignments was to write to somebody, and she chose Clint Eastwood, and because we were watching Rawhide reruns at the time. So she wrote and said, wrote a letter, it's like, oh, I love to watch Rawhide. It's my favorite TV show. And my favorite flavor of ice cream is chocolate or whatever. What's your favorite flavor? Blah, blah, blah. And we just waited for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks. And we didn't get an answer, actually, if I recall how the story actually went. And so I wrote a letter, I think, after that, saying, I know you can't answer everybody and stuff like this, but my daughter, she's like 7 years old or whatever, and she's been checking the mail every day for 3 months, and her heart is just broken that she, didn't get any kind of reply. And then like that, this autographed picture came for her. That's kind of what that the newspaper article that I mentioned just previously. It was because I got a letter from President Clinton at the time. He was president at the time, and I wrote about something. I don't know what, and well, I think I know what. I think it was like about genocide and stuff. That, like, how come we're busy sticking our noses here and there and here and there, but we're not doing anything about Bosnia? People are dying in Bosnia. People are dying in Rwanda. Genocide is happening around the world. Why aren't we doing anything in these places? I think that's what I wrote about. I don't know. I got a letter back, standard form letter. It was definitely ink, but they've got those like pen machines that can actually do the signature with a real pen. So I don't know if it was his real hand or one of those machines, but I can say it was real ink that the signature was signed with. And so anyway, the newspaper that, was like, and because I'd write my congressman and write letters to the editor. And so I was very active politically, and making my voice heard, and doing my civic duty. And so then that's what that little newspaper article was. And there's a little example of me making my voice heard. Let me check your comments. Just, that's cool. Okay. There we go. Oh. Oops.
Mama Kitty wants to know what's going on.
There's Mama Kitty. Let me see if I can stop this without it being blurry. Butter cookie, Danish butter cookie tins. Who knows what's inside this tin? At least one of them. I'm not sure. Maybe both of them, but for sure one of them. Who knows? Sewing kit, thread, needles, all of the, pin cushion. Yes, indeed. When Gen X was growing up, every house had a Danish butter cookies tin that was sewing material, sewing things. And then some books that I didn't have any place else to put. So they're there. Okay, so.
Mama Kitty wants to know what's going on.
Mama Kitty.
More books.
Okay, so I've got like tea sets, and so this is nice. Just different, those the black. Those cups, you can see there's plates, matching plates down on the bottom, but the black rim with the flowers on it, that's Mikasa. Mikasa brand and pattern. And that is one of the things, because very few things, one of the things that, like, before I even met my husband, when you're a teenager and you're going through all the bridal magazines and stuff, and you're kind of, oh, I want this, I want that, oh, I want my wedding dress like this, oh, I want this like that, blah blah, I want this silverware, I want, these were this was the pattern that I wanted. And I think I bought it myself. I don't think anyone gave it to me as a gift. I think I bought it. It was a set of 4 of the plates, the saucers, the cups and matching. Well, like the dinner plates, the salad plates, the bowls, the cups and saucers. I guess that would be it. And some of them have broken over the years. And that the one on the left that's kind of gold with black, that was a gift from my stepmother, Roberta. And down in the bottom is a tea set that's like an Asian tea set. Like, I think it's Japanese, with little Japanese kind of teacups that don't have like a little place for your finger, like a hook kind of thing. They're just like a bowl teacup kind of thing. And that was a wedding present from my ex-husband's family. I want to say it actually came from his sister's husband's parents. But it's definitely somebody on his side of the family. I can say that. And so this is all my teapot. And so I want to have a tea party. When I was, one of the other things I collected when I was traveling were these little saucer things that are shaped like a teapot, and it'll say, it's a souvenir thing, so it'll say London, Amsterdam, whatever, on it. And I was collecting those so that, because they're for putting your tea bag on. So you have your tea bag in to make your tea, and then you can put the tea bag on those little dishes. And so those are in there. I haven't had a tea party yet. I even brought back a couple of boxes of Stroop waffles. Well, I brought something to eat, like a tea party snack from each place. I've eaten them since then, because we're talking maybe 10 years ago. I don't know.
Things in here. This is actually quite large for a refrigerator.
It is quite large for a refrigerator. And I tried to keep nothing on top. I didn't want anything to be on top, and stuff got put there because there wasn't any place else to put it. There's still, and you can see on the other side of the refrigerator, there's like just that much stuff doesn't have any place to go. All those cupboards, almost everything. But of course, the cupboards aren't all exactly full either. But some of them have like sticking doors and stuff, and meh. Anyway, I'm actually taller than this, because I guess I'm holding the phone probably my nose level, if the height of me is like, I can see the top of the refrigerator, and I'm 5'2".
In Cambodia, I'm 5'2", and I'm taller than this refrigerator. Also, to have an oven is very rare.
I thought I was going to say something. All right. Okay, I stopped. It's kind of blurry. Can I get, there you go. That's clearer. So the 2 sun things are from Mexico. My mom brought them back when she traveled to Mexico as gifts. The sombrero, maybe also from my mom. I'm not sure. Little sombrero. I made one trip down to Baja once, but I don't think that's when I got that little turtle that I mentioned earlier. And that peacock on the end, that was my grandmother's. It's made of metal, like tin. And so, yeah, I got the peacock too.
Also, to have an oven.
Big deal to have an oven. In Cambodia, people don't have ovens. And some new places, they'll have like an electric oven. Electricity is so expensive. So one time before I had this one, we were doing like Thanksgiving or Christmas at somebody else's apartment, and they had an electric oven. So like we baked cookies, and I don't know, maybe I cooked a turkey for them, whatever, but we were using the oven, and their electric bill was like $100 from so I said, well, here's 50. I'll give you $50 to help offset the cost. I'm so sorry, but gas is really cheap. These big cans of gas, there's one underneath the oven. So I think they're $14 right now, and they last me like 6 months.
It's very rare. It's gas. It's hooked up to that gas can right there. Don't worry, it's not dangerous. And then to have real cupboards.
Yay! Yay! Cupboards.
So beautiful. And I actually have like things for baking in here. To have a stove. Normally we just have a stove like this. This actually like so they're not working. So I'm still using just one like that. Microwave. If you're wondering though, that gas can, I mean, it's just like that. See, that's kind of the normal thing. Nice sink.
Not much
Got
to say.
a nice cupboard for glasses. I actually keep my plates here. Silverware. Bowls. Plastics. Pots and pans. All right, that's the kitchen.
All righty.
And we've got the hallway. We've got another bookcase here. We've got these pictures. And we've got these pictures. So I'm going to show you these first.
Okay. That picture, let me check if there's any comments. No ovens. No. They didn't bake. I don't know. I mean, restaurants have ovens and stuff, and like now your newer places and condos and stuff might have an oven, but yeah, no. Like when I moved here, nobody had an oven. Even here, I mean, the oven is where the refrigerator is supposed to go. That's the spot for the refrigerator. There's actually like a place for the water for the ice maker to go there. So happy to have an oven. And all right. So this picture is like my favorite. It's okay. I won't say it's my favorite picture, but it's a picture of my favorite moment in Paris. It's on the top of the Montmartre area. Well, Montmartre is like on the top of this kind of mountain hill thing. And it's where all the painters, all the impressionist painters like Monet and Renoir and Degas and all of them, they were all up there. And even now it's kind of like art, it's very artsy. And the Sacré-Cœur church, the one with all the gargoyles on it, that's also up there. And we're walking around, and the thing that you don't see, you can't experience like in pictures or movies or anything, are the smells. Like you walk I mean, it's a bakery, and you smell bread, and you smell cheese, or you smell fruit, or you smell meat, and you smell and I mean, it's just, you smell flowers, you smell. It's just all these amazing smells. We're coming up on this corner. This shop is on a corner. It's a patisserie, which is like pastries. It's a pastry shop. And I smell something. It's like, I don't know what that is, but I got to have me some. And so I go in there and I get a macaroon, and not a macaroon like the coconut macaroons in the United States. It is spelled, but I think they say Macron, like their prime minister. Macron is actually how they pronounce the pastry. I said, no, you're kidding me. His name is the same as the, what? You know, Gay Paris, Gay Paris. You can almost smell it. That's a pistachio macaron. And I took a bite of it and I was just like in absolute heaven. This was back before cell phone. I mean, not cell phone. You had cell phones, but you didn't have smartphones. And so I gave my digital camera to my friends and I'm like, here, you got to take a picture of me standing here in front of this with what's left of this cookie or pastry cookie, whatever. And because this is amazing. You know, I have to capture this moment. And so, yeah, there, ta-da, that's that picture of that moment. And that's my dad. He passed away several years ago now. But the one from North Carolina that I was talking about. And that's my son, James, when he had done boxing training and was at a fight at a county fair in Utah. And that's my high school graduation, you know, my senior picture from high school. And that's me in Hollywood at the Marilyn Monroe Star. All right.
That's kind of the family side. And then this is.
So that is the King of Cambodia at a ceremony called the Royal Plowing Ceremony. This was the first ceremony that I went to with the king. A nice lady named Cindy. She's since passed away, but she invited me to attend as her guest. And so, of course, this is all the heads, the back of the heads that you see here are all the royal family. And so, yeah, that's just part that's me taking the picture from where I'm sitting. So you can see where I was in relation during the ceremony.
The Cambodia royal side.
And then this one, I'm from what we're seeing, I'm on the right side in the brown dress. That's me. And the lady in the red and pink is the first lady. And the man all the way on the left is the prime minister. So yeah, I was at an event, a small kind of event. Actually, it's kind of funny about this story, the story about this picture. The prime minister there were like these boards with a whole bunch of pictures. It was like 1 year after land had been given to veterans to live. And so they were coming to see how they had used their land and, you know, having a little fish pond and growing some rice or whatever. And having some chickens and some pigs and some vegetables, what they were doing with the property that they were given. And so there were these boards, these like big billboard kind of things set up with pictures. And he was there looking at all the pictures as he was supposed to. And so while he was doing that, all the wives kind of came over here to this area. And so I said, oh, can I get a picture with all of us ladies? And I handed my phone to somebody, or my digital camera, probably still at this time. And so we're all standing there to have our picture taken while the prime minister is like looking at all the pictures on the board. And so then once one person is taking a picture of all of us, then all the other press were there waiting. And so they all started taking pictures too. And the prime minister has his ear tuned because there was a similar situation that happened once before, but I don't have a picture of it. Like I have a picture of this time. And click, 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 click. All the cameras start going off and he hears it. So he's got to come over. It's like, wait a minute. What's going on? I need to be in the middle of it, right? Because he's the prime minister. He's the star. And so he came over to join. The other time was it was the grand opening, like the opening ceremony for the very first overpass ever built in the whole country of Cambodia. It was built in Phnom Penh, and so it was the opening ceremony of it. There was lots of speeches. I was sitting with like the diplomatic corps, all the ambassadors and stuff, because that's where you have headsets for the interpreting, and so once the speech was over, we all kind of walked up. We were walking up to the top of the overpass, and well, the prime minister and all of his people went first, right? And then all of the diplomats were walking behind. One of the ladies was the ambassador from Cuba. And I come to find out just more recently, because I think I met the current ambassador of Cuba, and I said, "Oh yeah, I remember the lady. She was here like forever. She was so sweet. We would always chit chat, but I can't remember her name." Turns out she was like the sister of Fidel Castro or something. I'm like, "Oh no, I didn't realize that." And anyway, I don't know. She was some relative of Castro, but she was sweet. She was really, really sweet. Anyway, so we're like chit chatting, and we're walking up the overpass. The prime minister's always already at the top. We're about halfway up. He's turned around to come back, and so we just stop and wait. And so he starts shaking the hands of the ambassadors, because we've kind of lined up. I'm at the end of the line, and so he's like shaking the hands of the ambassadors and saying thank you for coming or whatever. And so the first lady is there next to him, and she, like, this dress is like an okay dress, right? But that day she was wearing something particularly pretty. I don't remember what. And so I do know enough in Khmer, it's like oh, sa'at na, that means, oh, beautiful, very beautiful, right? And so she came over to me and to like shake my hand and say thank you for calling her beautiful. Well, when she came over to me, that, like I said, so like the picture you're looking at now, we'd already had that happen before, right? So she comes over to me on this overpass while the prime minister is like greeting the ambassadors, and all of a sudden, all of the press start click, 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 click. All the cameras start going off of her coming over to me. And so immediately the prime minister just skips all of the ambassadors and comes over to me. And because he's got to find out what's going on. And I think from that point forward, there's probably been like a attaché. No, not attaché. No, that's a person, an attaché. A dossier. There's probably been a dossier on me ever since the overpass. But I think it should be okay because I've never done anything untoward. Okay, so moving on. Let me check your nice. Oh, clap, 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 clap. Yeah. So now the full story is out there for posterity. I need to like kill this mosquito. There's a mosquito. You never know if they have dengue fever. I mean, there's actually a particular type of mosquito that has the dengue fever, and it looks like one of those. They're kind of bigger, and they've got like red and white, not red, just black and white stripes. It's like a tiger. They call it like a tiger mosquito. Make sure it's not buzzing around me. All right, moving on. This is a letter. If you can see the signature, it is from Norodom Sihanouk. I'm reading what it says. I wouldn't normally say Norodom Sihanouk. I would say the King Father or King Father Norodom Sihanouk. You would use the title. You wouldn't just say his name, but I was reading it. You notice the date is September 12th, 2012. I'm just going to check. I know you don't see this, but I'm going to check King Sihanouk, former prime minister. When did he die? He died on October 15th, and he signed this on September 12th. So just a month before he died, he signed this. Now his Tomiko, I think was his personal secretary, but I think it was like a nephew or something, and he told me that this was one of the last things he signed before he died. And so basically I was organizing I might be able to kill this mosquito. went away. Isn't it always like that? They move away, like you get ready and then they move away. I was organizing the ASEAN Film Festival because this was the year that Cambodia was hosting ASEAN, and all the ASEAN conferences. And anyway, so we wanted to do a special screening of one of his films, and so I'd written a letter asking for his blessing, or I don't know if I asked for his permission or I just asked for his blessing. But anyway, he wrote, "Dear Miss Arthur, I express to you my warm thanks for your letter." I think that might be letter. "And I have the pleasure to inform you that to inform you that something have a special something public screening. No, that you may to inform you that you may have a special public screening of my movie Crepuscule, which I think means sunset or sunrise or something in French, on the occasion of the 2012 ASEAN Film Festival in Phnom Penh, with my warm wishes for good health, long life, happiness, and success in your activities." And by the way, saying those 4 things are the traditional custom of Khmer culture, to good health, long life, happiness, and success. That's what you say to people. "Please accept, dear Ms. Arthur, the assurance of my high and affectionate consideration." And then signed by Norodom Sihanouk. So that is proudly on my wall. That's a very rare thing to have.
There's one missing from right there. It fell down. That's this one.
So this is the King Father's coffin, and that's me. So I didn't get to meet him while he was alive, but I went with the royal family to this the viewing. I mean, what lie in state, when they're lying in state, whatever, kind of like funeral, but not the funeral. But actually, I did go to parts of. Oh, I didn't take any pictures with the funeral part though. Okay, keep going.
Oh, and that this is coming out of the.
So, if the picture wasn't falling out of the frame, you would see that that's me with the current King Sihamoni of
frame. I gotta fix that.
And that's me with the Queen Mother. Notice, so this was like her birthday celebration years ago, and I had read that she was always very particular that people wear, like, your skirt and your blouse need to be the same material. She's very particular about that. So I had a custom set made of the special Cambodian skirt called a sampot, and a matching top. And then it turned out that we were both wearing brown. So interesting. So, and because it's tradition, like any business or home, people will always put a picture of the king and the king father and the queen mother and the prime minister and the first lady. They'll have those pictures up, like a standard picture set, facing the door. It's supposed to be like facing the entrance, and but I don't have any walls facing the entrance, so I had to use this wall. But instead of it just being like the standard picture, it's all of them, but with me.
And that's the royal palace in the evening. Well, whatever. And then that's me inside the throne hall at a ceremony. And that's the traditional clothing called the kabun. And so, okay, enough of that. Where are we at? A wake, a bloodsucker. Oh yes, the mosquitoes are little bloodsuckers. And I was thinking wake, but a wake is more of a celebration, and it was solemn. But I wanted to say wake, but it's like wake wasn't the right word for it. But you and me are in the same mind, so you knew I was thinking wake. All right, let's get. I think 2 more minutes on this part. Already taken it.
All right.
Oh,
there is a downstairs.
So there, so one of the traditional artisan things in Cambodia is painting lacquer. And so this is a lacquer painted bowl type thing. And another member of the royal family, I believe it would be like Prince Kemarek, gave this to me on my birthday once. Oh, and on that little shelf, did I stop and did I show that little shelf? Not really, huh? Oh my gosh, how did I not show the little, let me see when I first went into the hallway. Go away. So maybe like this view, you can see this little cubbyhole thing. So this is also all pictures related to the royal family. So there's a picture of the king, like I'm at a ceremony in the throne hall, kind of similar to this picture you see with me in the green kabun. And I'm there like this, and the king has his hands over my hands, like kind of like blessing me kind of thing. So that there's that picture. There's a book that's written by the Queen Mother. There's that blue box contains a little silver bowl that was given to me as a gift from the King Siamoni. There's a book about the King Father. There's a little handmade, let's say it's kind of like a fan or like a teardrop kind of, it's a special shape. And it's from the funeral of the King Father. So moving on, let's come back past this. Let me go.
All right.
Oh,
there is a downstairs bathroom
coming up.
There's like a little shower there. This is a small, I guess we would call it a half bath.
Don't really use that because
here's the Airbnb room.
I turned all the lights on.
I gotta get in here and close the door so that we just had a guest leave, so
that the cats don't come in.
The bed's not made right now. We have a small refrigerator here for them. Rice cooker, kettle. So it's very simple. This is a fan that will work on batteries. So you keep it plugged in.
And then if the electricity goes out, you have
a
fan still to use.
And one last place to show you.
Oh, I didn't show you the bathroom. Nice shower in there. Oh, look at my finger.
And that's out here. They call it the mud room. It's also laundry. So we've got laundry. We've got a nice big tall cabinet there that has laundry in front of it. A chair to sit on to take off your shoes. My chromas or scarves. Dogs are outside. Bye-bye. A lucky lady.
Now you get to see the dogs.
Place for shoes. You can see
a ladder to change a light bulb.
Quite a large cupboard. We keep the linens and things for
some
the Airbnb room, and one more room for like storage in here. Oh, my Marilyn Monroe thing. Okay.
Which is not organized.
So that's it.
At the moment.
Say goodbye to the puppies. And part 2 is upstairs. Bye, puppies.
Yay. Okay. So you ready for upstairs? We'll go quicker. There's not as many like little knickknacks or anything, so it'll go quicker. Let's see. In fact, I'm curious if I refresh this.
Hello. Welcome.
Come to the end.
That's it.
There it is.
Say goodbye to the puppy.
See, I put the
Okay,
thing in
part
there.
2 of the tour coming upstairs.
Wait, so that picture. Okay, it paused. That picture was given to me as a gift. It's now this building actually is part of kind of a block of buildings all together, but it's like photoshopped away all the rest of it. And so there was a little bar in the bottom called Broken Bricks when I first moved here in 2007, and it was my little local dive bar at the time. I lived right next to Rory's Pub, so I was always at Rory's Pub as well. And then there was a guy named Jim that had a place called Jungle Bar, so I always call him Jungle Jim. And I think his name was Jim. That's why I call it. Just saw him. Did I see him recently, or he was on Facebook or something? Somehow chatted with him, and yeah. And so I don't know. That just has it's like a bygone era. It doesn't exist anymore, and stuff. So I just wanted to point that out.
Okay, part 2 of the tour coming upstairs.
Nice woodwork on the
When you
stairs,
come up
too.
here, you have all this nice living space. So that's my bedroom. Some cat toys here. That's my closet.
I turned a whole room
That's the cat feeding
into
station.
my closet.
That's my office. I'll show you each of those. But first, when you come up to the top of the stairs, you have this nice area here.
This is so cool.
That's kind of like having an attic, a storage room. So I have these shelves that I had made previously at my previous house. So I brought them over, set them up here. There's still space in here for me to like organize some things. But Christmas decorations and such are here. These are some boxes that I need to sort through. Kitty litter stations here. All the kitty litter boxes are upstairs. And this is my office.
I guess I didn't finish saying that the so there's no smell for the Airbnb guests because all the kitty litter, there's not a lot of smell for me too, because I have Straimau that cleans them every day. But if there was to be, if anyone was sensitive to the smell of kitty litter boxes, they're all upstairs.
I have a bunk bed here.
Which is a storage.
So eventually people have a beautiful balcony. In fact,
Mango tree.
this is a mango tree. So you can pick mangoes right here from it. There's the drain that actually has some leaves on it right now. So if it's going to rain, I'll need to clean them up because that plug clogged and caused water to flood in here. Whoops.
That's kitty.
And there's kitty. Kitty in the house.
Oh, I think it bit me.
Okay. This is just a bookcase
The filing
here.
weighted.
So I just
Get a
keep it
filing
covered
cabinet.
with that. Another bookcase, filing cabinet,
The used one from a friend of mine.
desk area. So definitely some sorting, and then definitely sorting here. This is the mess.
It's the mess.
If you didn't know, I had everything shipped, 4 pallets shipped to here to Cambodia from California.
Yeah.
There's a full bathroom
Oh, I should
in here.
put this on full screen for you guys.
I moved these here after that flood. But yeah, full bathroom. Again, a kitty litter box upstairs.
Didn't get it.
So no smell because I have an Airbnb room downstairs. Here's this room I use for my closet.
Need to organize
So I
in
have all
here
these
too.
racks of clothes. I have a wardrobe. There's
I
another
don't wanna get-
full bathroom right there. There's another small balcony right there. So there's definitely some sorting that needs to happen in here.
I love my blue room.
Then this is my room. We have water and some food bowls, my little chair, my vanity, my little refrigerator, aircon. I have us turn this way so that when I'm in the bed, I can like reach
Here's my
whatever's
Kindle.
there.
That's a
That
mess.
needs to be sorted.
Yeah.
But a little shelf, and then this little shelf, which is like a dresser, so it's got my undies and stuff in it. We've got some stuff here. I used to have a kettle here, but it's downstairs right now. These are the clothes that I'll like wear again.
Clothes I wear.
And my beautiful bathroom, another kitty litter box, and my shower and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. The other amazing thing is out here is a great patio that I want to turn into a catio.
Catio.
So let me
Gotta save some
close
money.
the door so the cats don't follow me out.
$300. But more of that crown molding, even on the
A
outside.
lot of people love all the work on the ceilings. This is like normal in Cambodia. It's nothing special here. So yeah, I want to turn all of the, enclose this in with fencing, and then I can have it as a catio, put a little door here to the lower part, or eventually, enclose this part in as well. There is water so that if I have plants, I can water the plants. No flooding here happening yet. Oh, there's a nice big drain right there.
Yeah, that drain.
These are all mango trees
3
as
times.
well. I had a
the size
Cambodian
of
tell me that there's one of these 3 is like this special kind of mango that everybody loves. And there's not really any blooming right now, but if you can see, there's jasmine, like a pink jasmine right in here. That's like a vine that's crawling up in these trees. So, there you can see some right there of the pink jasmine. So that's it. That's upstairs. Now you know. And okay. Thanks for joining me.
All right, that's it. Tour's done. Blue heaven. Yes, it is. It is. It's a blue heaven for sure. And yeah, the wardrobe. No special adventures going through the wardrobe though. And I keep all my silks in there, all the Cambodian silk kabuns and sampots and things. I keep all those in the wardrobe. And I've got like a air freshener thing stuck in there. So yeah, well, we've been an hour and a half tonight. Next time we're going to do what? I'm tired after all of that. I need to drink some tea. It's 10:30. Got to go to work tomorrow. My wardrobe. Yeah, so maybe next year I can do another tour and show you everything all cleaned up and put away. Is that a goal? That's a good goal. 1 year. Give myself 1 year to do it all. To like all the different, like, I got to sort through that. I got to sort through that. All the different things. I mean, as far as the clothes, I really think I want like Sremao or something to like sell them on here they use Facebook to sell stuff. Oh, look at this, and then people will write their information, and we have all the deliver, like how you have Uber and Lyft and stuff. We have them that deliver, motorcycles that deliver things. So it's like, oh yeah, I want to buy that for $2, and then like $1 for the delivery, and put it in a bag and off it goes. Instead of the mail. We don't have a mail system like that. I mean, there's a post office, and international mail comes in, And if you're a big enough place like a university or a big company, the post office will deliver a batch of mail to you. But just normal mail delivery, it doesn't happen, because after the Khmer Rouge time, everybody just kind of like, oh, here's a house and here's a house, and in between the house they build a whole bunch of little houses, and so there, and then everybody just picked lucky numbers for their house, and so for like 30-40 years they've had an out of sequence number, and nobody wants to change their house number. That's their house number. So yeah, goals. You got to have goals. Have a goal. You're not going to get anywhere if you don't make a goal, right? If I just say, well, yeah, I'll get to it one day, it's never, then the universe takes care of stuff with a flood or a fire or something like that, God forbid. So thieves, whatever. So I have to take care of it. So if I give myself a goal of 1 year, should be good. Yeah. All right. So I hope you enjoyed the tour. Now for posterity, everyone can know what the stuff is. So like when I die, then people will know, oh, that's the rabbit, like, what's this rabbit skin? Oh, that's the rabbit skin that she shot by herself and tanned it by herself. Let's throw it away. Who cares now, right? When I'm dead and gone, nobody's going to care. But at least they'll know, right? So, and I don't think, I think some people would have to worry about like, oh no, you're putting on YouTube everything that's in your house, so thieves are going to come and steal from you. I don't see that happening here for any of my. It's just all sentimental stuff. There's nothing. Oh, you want my Marilyn Monroe Barbie? Everything's locked up, so I don't need to worry about that. Okay. So let's have a quick prayer. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you so much that I have this wonderful house to live in, and I feel so much peace being here. And I just pray that everyone watching also has peace in their life, regardless of whatever circumstances are happening, good or bad. We all go through, rains on the just and the unjust. And so just peace. I just pray for peace and health, and for Chalet, for Mabel, for Andy, for my mom, for Jessa, for Michael, and all our families and all our fur babies. We ask this in Jesus' name. Amen. All righty. I had I was gonna share with Andy. There was a thing about a road in Mount Shasta. Maybe I'll put it here on the end, and and just like show it to you, because I like saved it. I saved a link. Wait a second here. Where's my saved messages? Here it is. Okay. So here's the link, because it's on Twitter. Yeah, open Twitter. Oh. There you go. Watch it one more time. Oh. Now I'll talk about Russell Brand. So Andy, I want to know, is this says the road to Mount Shasta. So did you help work on that road, Andy? Russell Brand. Now I what I've been watching today was actually Delphi. But so Russell Brand, I know a little bit that there are accusations going on. I think you can still see my screen. You can see here's Lionel Nation, the media crucifixion of Russell Brand and everything. I think, okay. I think you don't get cast into anything unless you play the game. And I think there's different levels. But when you look at, I mean, there's different levels of what happens behind the scenes, what happens, whether it's sexual, like you're talking about a Harvey Weinstein and the Me Too, and they only talk about sexual. We're not talking about anything satanic. We're not talking about adrenochrome. We're not. Nobody ever brings up that stuff. Even with Johnny Depp and Amber Heard, there's a thing here, Legal Vices, talking about their sidebars, part 8, whatever. I don't know why that's up in my recommendations. Although when the court case was going on, I was watching it. Yeah, nobody talks about that level of stuff. They'll talk about sexual stuff. So I believe that he made no secret of the fact that he was a dog, right? With the way he treated women or used women, potentially not children, but adult women, consensually, but did not treat them well. And I think it was part of his comedy routine or something and part of his interviews back in the day, that's the way he was. And is he still like that? Maybe that's who he is. Has he changed? Has he seen the light? Maybe. But I do think he's found himself a niche on YouTube by talking about the things that he does talk about and exposing vaccines, exposing elites, but he tries to keep it in a global political framework. Like the system that is set up on this global political system needs to change, and people need to be the ones to rise up and change it, right? That's kind of his platform. So he's not saying that he's pro-Trump or pro-Biden or anything. But he's like a little bit more anarchistic and anarchist and like anarchy, I think. Whatever form of the word is for anarchy. I think he's a little bit more like that, or just like rebuilding a new system. Like, let's get rid of the old system and have a new system. And so did something happen a long time ago? Maybe. Is he still a miserable guy? But the timing of it is, I think, definitely he is, in the sense of like Lionel Nation's thing here, the media crucifixion of Russell Brand. Number one, more people are probably watching him than, like, if he's like, how many likes does he get? How many subscribers does he have? Is going to be more than any mainstream media outlet, right? So there's going to be a jealousy factor there. They got to, plus he's telling the truth. I think he's speaking a truth, right? And they don't want a truth that they don't want known. Even though there are other truths that maybe nobody talks about, this is one truth that he talks about, and they don't want it heard. And then, there's also this, I get this feeling like, order out of chaos, right? So the elites and whoever, they set up chaoses. Is that even a plural? Can chaos be a plural? I'm not sure. But they set up situations of chaos to then, have a result, So there could be layers. There could be so many layers of this. I don't, yeah. I mean, I like Russell Brand. I'd like to watch his videos. I don't watch him every day. I watch him occasionally. If I'm in the mood for hearing his tone of voice, then I'll watch one of his videos. But he's not really telling me much new that I don't already know. But sometimes I just like to hear the rhythm of how he speaks and the words that he chooses when he speaks. He's very articulate with his accent. Yeah, Yeah, that's me on Russell Brand. I don't care so much. They've demonetized him. And libertarian. Okay, yeah, libertarian. I would go with that instead of not total anarchy, but yeah, more of a libertarian type person. Of course, he's British. He's not American. He jumped their ship. Yeah, I would think so. But that other stuff is so hidden and so deep that you can be all these different spectrum of things on the surface, and you still have that deep layer that you're bound to. Because I think they just kill you if you try to really walk away. I don't know. You love his clothes. Yeah, he's not touching on any real dirt. Exactly. And until they just let things go on until they want a crisis. And so they want a crisis. But the Delhi thing, oh my goodness. Because hey, I put in my description, we start off with the house tour and then there's rambling. So yeah, we can ramble for a little bit. So for anybody who doesn't know what I'm saying when I say Delhi is a small town in, I believe, Indiana. And there were two young girls, 12, 13, something like that, maybe 14. They were young, and they go on. They say, "Okay, I'm going for a walk." And the two of them go for a walk in this state park area, and then they disappear. And then they're found the next day. I think sometime on the next day they find their bodies, and they'd been killed. And this was 2012, almost 10, so 9 years ago, I believe, is when they February 13th, right before Valentine's. They were found on Valentine's Day. They were disappeared the day before, February 13th, 2012, only because I've just been watching things today. So I'm up on it. And it was a cold case for a long time. Things kind of, some YouTubers picked up on it as a cold case. It got more attention. The police kind of got egged on to do something about it, and then they found a guy and they arrested him, and there's all this evidence that he's the guy that did it, and everybody's like, yay, it took so long, but they finally got him. And then today the defense attorney, I guess he filed his court paper, they filed I believe they were all of this paperwork was part of a motion they're saying that that the sheriff's department was not forthcoming in sharing exculpatory evidence. That means evidence that would show that the person is innocent. So if they hide exculpatory evidence, they're railroading somebody. Now, it's possible that person is still guilty, but because you're hiding evidence that would lean towards their innocence, then you're in trouble. That's not justice. Justice means you're supposed to, in the process of the U.S. court system, there's a period called discovery, and that's when both sides, so let's say the defense attorney has a private investigator, and I don't know how much they have to. I don't know what their liability is. Legally, because there's confidentiality, right? So if you discover something that your guy's guilty, I don't think you have to share that. Not the burden on the state, where the state has to share everything to the defense, and they didn't. They're saying they didn't. So they're filing a motion about this, that they want an investigation as to whether or not this happened. Now, in the process of filing this paperwork, because I guess there's a gag order about this case, And we all know that in any case of maybe a serial killer or horrific crimes, a lot of times part of the number one part of the it's an ongoing investigation, right? We're so tired of hearing that. But sometimes they it's a good thing to hold back a small piece, some piece of what you know, what the law enforcement knows about the case, that only the killer would know. So that way, if someone brags about, oh yeah, she was, I killed this girl and she was wearing pink earrings, and nobody knew that she was wearing pink earrings that day except for the killer, right? Then you've got something, okay, yeah. So withholding something like that. So they withheld a lot of stuff. Now, over the years, I also know that anytime there is anything ritualistic that happens, the media, the news, the law enforcement, they won't share about that until somebody's an investigator and gets criminal reports and things like this, or and they dig and they find out that it was a ritual, some kind of ritual killing, whether it's satanic or whatever. In this case, they're talking about Odin and the Norse. I believe Odin is Norse, Viking, but are Vikings and Norse the same thing? I apologize. I don't know. So I don't mean to offend anybody. More than one person involved. Oh, yeah. Oh, you haven't heard this. Oh, yeah. Oh, I have. Oh my gosh. Now I don't have a PDF of this whole thing. And I've watched two different people. I watched J is for Justice first. I saw her thing first. I thought, oh, well, this looks interesting. And I watched her thing first. Then then Michelle After Dark was also talking about it. And so I watched what she was talking about. So I've got both of their perspectives, and they both read different parts of it. And so I haven't seen or read or heard all of it, but I Justice J is for Justice read a lot of it about the crime scene. So I believe there's a gag order, but because they filed this, and there was a lot of things like, okay, the crime scene photo is confidential or whatever. There's different, they reference evidence number 26, which is confidential or whatever. So there's plenty that's still confidential, but they went and the defense attorney spelled out everything about the crime scene in friggin' detail. And if it wasn't a ritual, like a genuine ritual that happened, it was definitely set up to look like a ritual. But okay, here's a couple of key things. There's Libby and there's Abby. Libby was nude. Well, okay, and Abby was in Libby's clothes. That aside, I believe both of them had no blood on them. There was no blood in the area, so as if they must have been killed someplace else and then put in this spot and they were posed and staged. And there were not just, okay, everybody keeps saying sticks. Let me tell you one of the sticks that they described. There was a stick laid out that went past her feet along, and then upwards past the top of her head. That's a friggin' log. What kind? I mean, okay, let's say she's about 5 foot. So that means a stick that's longer than 5 feet, because it was past her feet and past her head. And there was a lot of sticks, and a lot of them were long sticks, and a lot of them had been I believe they said they were, at least one of them was cut like with an electrical saw, not just a hand saw, not one of those little string survival saws, but an electric saw.
I believe that it mentioned at least one stick like that, and they were arranged in a pattern. Now, when they were describing this pattern, it sounded to me like it was set up in a pentagram. You know, that like there was this V, and then there was this V, and then there was this V, and a whole bunch of V's, 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 V's. But then I guess there were some footnotes that Michelle After Dark mentioned that weren't in what I saw with J is for Justice, that actually named the Norse rune, you know, runes like those symbols, like Bluetooth is a rune actually. And let me see here. He said it was this Hegel. So share screen. So stop sharing that screen. Present, share screen, share screen. This one, which is almost what makes me think of a medical symbol as well. And interestingly enough, okay, so there were two. The sticks were laid out in this pattern over Libby's body. There was no, there was a lot of blood on Libby that was exterior, like dropped on her or whatever. It wasn't, okay. There was a rune symbol like an F that was on the tree. And so that like an F says Viking runes. This, if you see the third one on the top, ensues. So he mentioned it was the ensues, and he mentioned it was the Hegel. And I just saw something here that was interesting. This one. You can perform the rune Hegel with your physical body when you lower and raise your arms as the wings of a bird, turning, you know, like a turn around the same way. And my son is calling me. Do we want to hear what he says? I can answer it on my phone. Yes, James. D care. The letter D hyphen CARE, D care. It's in the picture. Okay? D care. It's over by Central Market. Off of street. If you go on Street 51, like from the American Embassy, go on Street 51, and then when you cross over like the big bank street, right? It's before the Central Market. It's that first street you come to, and you turn right, and it's right there. You cross the big road with the divider, and then it's the first road, turn on the right. Okay? Okay, love you. Bye. That's my son, James. So the shape of the Hegel, and they described it, the police described it as V's, like laying the sticks out like a V and then another V and then another V and then another V. And so you can see how this shape would end up being like V's. Whoops, StreamYard. What the L? Yeah. So none of this had been talked about before. Their throats were slit and there was no blood. So they might have been killed in the river and then moved, right? And the water washed away all the blood. That's a possibility. But the other thing is that and I'm not saying that everybody that's into paganism is into sacrifice. I'm not pagan. I'm Christian. Um, but I'm sure there's a lot of people that are just more into the earth, nature side of paganism, which this is a form of paganism. But there's a group that they're like, I guess, called Sons of Odin, and they're very, very like KKK type stuff, you know. And the defense attorney mentioned, I believe it was the defense attorney that in somewhere mentioned that one of the girls' mother was dating somebody that wasn't pure, right? Wasn't like Norse or whatever, wasn't white. But they're okay. So according to their lore, let me come back in here. I don't know. We're gonna see together what comes up. So I'm gonna sacrifice tree. Let me see. There's a thing about that not hanging people normally in a tree, but hanging people upside down in a tree. Well, I guess they did a lot of. Oh, here we go. Human sacrifices by Vikings. All right. I don't know who did this or whatever, but oops. So just so you can see, so if I'm not saying this is what happened to the girls, I'm just saying that if they did something like this in the same way that you would when you have an animal, if you go deer hunting, you hang up your deer, you hang up the deer and you drain the blood, right? So let me get off of that so that it's like not. Just come back to that. Is that what happened? If that's what happened, and they collected the blood, then it's like, you know, one of the things that Michelle After Dark was talking about was, you know, what? So they got buckets and they're walking out of there with buckets and nobody saw them walking out of there with buckets. You know, for her, it doesn't make sense. I mean, she's not excluding the idea that it could be more than one person, but what she was talking about a lot was that just based on the facts of how the girls were found, it is possible that one person could have done it. One person could lay the branches. One person could put Libby's clothes on Abby's body, which would have had to have been done post-mortem because there was no blood and her neck was cut. If somebody, so the clothes had to have been put on post-mortem. Sorry to be so blunt about that, and I really feel for the families. I feel so bad that, like, I don't know how much of these kind of details the family knew already, and now it's out there for everybody to be talking about. You know, that has got to be so painful for those families. And so my heart really does go out to them, and I'm so sorry, but it is something that needs. I mean, it needs to be talked about. You can't. I mean, you want to make sure the right people are punished, and if it's the guy they've got, great. Was he? So then, was he alone, or was he part of it with other people? Does he have? And there are this group does exist in Delphi. And the lawyer named names. And so Michelle was on this guy's Facebook and that guy's Facebook and this and that, right? Looking at everybody because the lawyer named names. These are the guys that are part of this Odin cult. And so the one main guy, I don't remember his name, I don't care. But all of his social media posts were like, Hail Odin,
Hail Odin, hail Odin. That's what he always said. Now, if we look back here at this Hegel rune, this rune means, I'm just picking one to click on. What does it mean? Hail. Hail. Also, catastrophe, crisis, radical change, acceptance, surrender, opportunity. But literally, in the language, it means hail. What's the other one mean? I believe it was this, Ensue's, this, God. Which God? Odin. Hail Odin. Right there at the crime scene. Hail in the sticks. Odin was in blood that was DNA tested to be Libby's blood. And she didn't do it herself. It wasn't an accident. It didn't just drip. They painted this rune that looks like an F. They painted it using Libby's blood, whoever killed her, whether it's the guy they got or somebody else. And so these things need to be looked at and discussed to catch the real, because if it is this, because let me tell you, this kind of generational stuff and things like this, it goes on, it happens. And why should they keep getting away with it? Who's going to ever stop it? You know, because some of them are the defense attorney says that some of these members are correctional officers where the guy that they've got arrested for these murders is being kept. And so his life is in danger. And they are, you know, making things even more uncomfortable for him than would normally be in prison, I guess. Sick, unbelievable. Yes. And we all need to be responsible, you know. So if this is the way it has to go down to make it go down, all right then. So the evidence is these sticks were there in the shape of the hail rune. The blood, Libby's DNA tested blood was there as the Odin, God Odin, hail Odin on the tree. Odin on the tree, hail in the sticks, hail Odin was there. So either somebody was really practicing it or someone was making it look like it. So we'll have to see what else comes out now. Now that the defense attorney has not only put it out there, but has accused specific law enforcement by name. He's accused specific law enforcement by name for covering up stuff and technically not sharing exculpatory evidence. And secondly, naming potential suspects. Better get bodyguards. So yeah, I was watching that today. That's kind of the news. And then Lahaina and everything. Nothing really. Yeah, it's disappeared out of the news. I don't know if anything is gonna come. I think people are grieving. I think you've got people who are grieving and don't want to talk and don't want to be involved, and they just want to be left in peace because they're grieving. And I think you have people that maybe, you know, I'm talking about people in Lahaina or in Maui, people that are afraid, you know, people that are afraid if they speak out. I think you have both. You have people that aren't afraid, but they're just grieving. You have other people that are afraid. I think both of those things are happening. Maui massacre. Yeah. It's not over. I know, but there's just not any new information really being shared. So there have been, there was
an earthquake in Morocco. How many people died? 2,000. There was floods in Libya. How many people died? 2,000. How many people were missing originally in Lahaina? 2,000. What is it with this like 2,000s? You know, the dead can't speak. Nope. So, I guess unless we're the ones that are end times, it really does. And I think about how many generations, like if you were born in Russia during the Bolshevik Revolution, would you think that was the end times for you? If you were born during the Ottoman Empire and the Mongol hordes were coming, Genghis Khan or something, I don't know when was he BC or AZ? Let me look. Yeah, 1200. 1200. 1100 to 1200. That's the same time Angkor Wat was being built. Notre Dame. When was Notre Dame built? Oh, not Indiana, not Vietnam, not Vietnam. Notre Dame, yeah, like the cathedral. As in Phnom Penh. What the hell? I have to put Paris? 1163. 1163. It opened in 1345. Notre Dame was being built at the same time as Angkor Wat, and at the same time Genghis Khan was doing his raids. So if you lived somewhere that Genghis Khan came through and raped and pillaged your village, would you be thinking that rhymes? That's a horrible rhyme. Would you be thinking it's the end times? If you lived in Florence during the Medicis, would you think it's the end times? This is the time when everybody can hear crap because of satellites and such. This is true. So we hear wars and rumors of wars. All eyes will see. This is true. Project Bluebeam. Did they have the Bible to read? Yeah, I mean, bits and pieces of it, but it was certainly, it went through stages. I guess when the letters, when Paul was writing a letter to Thessalonica and writing a letter to the church in Corinth, those letters were shared. But then to actually be put together as like Revelation, that was John. He was shipwrecked on an island. Well, it had to be less than 100 AD because he didn't live to be 100 years old. So it was, and Rome, and then the Roman soldiers sacked Jerusalem in 70 AD or 70 something AD. But they said it would be like birth pangs. And if we've both had children, and I think even people watching, whether or not you've had a child, that the contractions get harder and faster and closer together the closer you get to giving birth. And so, yeah, it just seems like, and maybe before the technology that we have in this age, news traveled slowly. You wouldn't have known that, there was an earthquake in Turkey and a flood in Libya and a rumor of a war in Ukraine and fires in Lahaina and everything, So
Definitely. Definitely could be the end times. Be glorious. One way or another, we get to the other side. Whether Jesus comes back in our lifetime or, we just leave this earth suit that we're wearing. But there is more. Our spirit lives. Our spirit is eternal. Before we got into this earth suit and after we leave, our spirit is eternal. Before and after. That like in our earth suit there's a before, there's an after, right? But for our spirit, there's not. Preach it, yeah. Okay, so we've said our prayer. We've had our preaching. Go forth in everything that you do. Let it be for the glory of God. Shekinah, is it Shekinah? Shekinah glory? Is that the word? Shekinah? Shekinah glory. Dwelling or settling and denotes the presence of God. And it's so that presence of God, and he is in our spirit. We are one with God. He is with us. He is in us. He is here, and we don't want to hide our light under a bushel. We want that. I mean, the Shekinah glory shows the burning bush and the Ark of the Covenant. I mean, it made a sunburn on Moses's face when God passed by him. Just the shadow of God made a sunburn on Moses's face. Yeah. So may we walk in his glory and share to those around us. May they see God's presence through us. In Jesus' name. Amen. All right, I'm going to end it. And we'll see what happens. We'll my next week, Friday, I guess so. Friday, my Saturday morning, your Friday night, we'll do some songs again. That seems to be fun. And then next week, we'll see what new developments have happened in the week ahead. But bless everyone. I love you. Okay. Good night.